Right then, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Assetto Corsa Offline Championship. We are here for round number 2 of the 2021 Formula 1 World Championship, which takes us to the south of Portugal in the Algarve region, here at the Autodromo Internacional do Algarve for the Portuguese Grand Prix. Yes, we are back with more Formula 1 action around the tight and twisty turns of Portimao. And yeah, it's really great to be back at the circuit. We had Porsche Super Cup on here yesterday, but now it is time for the main event, Formula 1. Here at Portugal, and it's going to be a very exciting one. This track, as we all know, has been a staple of the F1 calendar all the way since 2017, really. And I think it is the first time that we do feature it in the earlier half of the season, so it's going to be very interesting to see. Either way, we have 12 minutes of the first stage of qualifying ahead of us. We're currently riding on board with Jose Frederic Schuto, who's currently on a flying lap of the Algarve circuit. It's just been impeded by the Red Bull there, but as we will witness the rest of this lap, I will take you through the track. So, the Algarve International Circuit, or also known as the Autodromo Internacional do Algarve, or just the Portimao Circuit, was opened in October of 2008 and cost 195 million euros to build. It was designed by Portuguese track architect Ricardo Pina and hosted the final round of the World Superbike Championship in November of 2008. It hosted a few more racing series in 2008 and 2009, things like A1 Grand Prix, Le Mans Series, and the FIA GT Championship, and actually featured a Formula 1 testing session in 2008 and 9. However, the track was never used in Formula 1 all the way up until 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic, in which Formula 1 did come here in 2020 and 21. It's seen a bit more racing action than that. Obviously, we've had the World Endurance Championship 6 hours of Portimao around here, and the Portuguese Motorcycle Grand Prix since 2020. I mean, in MotoGP, and a slew of different other series as well, mostly European continental championships at this track. But the layout, which has remained since 2008, is 4.653 kilometers long and features 15 turns with a race lap record of 1 minute 18.7. And well, in the ACOC, as I previously did say, we have come here since 2017, so this track has featured every single year on the Formula 1 calendar, and rightfully so, as we have had some absolute thrillers of races here at Algarve. Most notably 2017, which saw Dennis Graf clinch his first ever World Championship at this track, so it's a very memorable race as well in the hearts of many. But yeah, we come here for a 5th edition now, so yeah, it'll be very interesting to see. Speaking of Dennis Graf, he's actually gone top of the timing sheets. There's his teammate Alfred Klaus slotting into 2nd, Luca Farina in 6th, with Wojtek Kulasek in 7th, as the times are now coming in on the board. Thomas Mandic a lowly 12th, man who DNF'd last time out at Bahrain. We'll be looking to change that today. It says Chereshny in 7th. Parachki now goes fastest. Man in the number 1 Mercedes now. McIntyre in 4th. Alex Broster in 12th. We'll be looking to repeat his successes at Bahrain today, where he finished P6. Let's see what he's going to be able to do then, along with his teammate Alex Arnold, who's now gone up into P11. And that is the first 20 times on the board then. Parachi currently fastest, and your bottom 5 currently consists of Daniel Wale, Thomas Mandic, Daniel Fraser, Victor Albom, and Fernando Tost. So it seems like Mandic and Tost may have had a bit of a scruffy opening lap, especially Fernando Tost, who's 7/10 off Victor Album at the moment. So I do believe the Polish man must have made a mistake on his flyer, as Daniel Wattler seems to have gotten himself up at the P12. That is both Alfa Romeos into Q2 at the moment, so decent stuff from them. Luca Farina currently sitting in 10th as Dennis Graf improves and goes up into the P1 spot. Thomas Mandic gonna come across the line. Will the Croatian be able to improve? Yes, but he will stay in 17th. Victor Album does improve as well, however, he is only P19. What can Fernando Tost do as he's got a nice slipstream heading down the start-finish line? Yes, it's going to be 17th for the Polish man, but it's not quite enough for the Aston Martin driver to get himself out of Q2. Last time out, it was Cherezhny who got knocked out in Q1 and Tost who was able to advance. Right now, it's looking like the opposite, but with 5.5 minutes to go, I definitely do think it could change. But I think Tost has gotten a bit unlucky here. He's got the Alpine there just ahead of him, giving him a bit of trouble. So Eric Adelberg now goes up into P11. Well done from Eric Adelberg, as we're looking at Laban Zasniczkaj just starting his lap. Currently sitting in P16. He is 700ths off Alex Broster in 15th. Thomas Mandic as well won't want to make it a Ferrari Q1 elimination here, as he's gonna go across the line. Is Mandic gonna be able to find the improvement here? No, Mandic cannot improve, and he will stay in P18. It's looking dire for Ferrari at the moment, as Fraser and Album briefly swap positions there, setting improvement, but still staying P19 and 20 respectively. Laban Zasniczkaj then heading down to turn number 13. Through the left-hander he goes. Alex Arnold gets himself up into 10th. Very, very good lap from the man in the Williams. Good to see that Williams could maybe challenge for points this season consistently, which feels like a long time ago since they were able to do that. As Zasniczkaj is gonna go across the line now. Eric Adelberg goes up into 10th. Where can Laban get himself as he goes across the line? And it's P13 for Zasniczkaj. Improvement finally for the Ferrari man, and that should be him at the moment safe from the drop zone. One of the men looking to escape the drop, his teammate Thomas Mandic here, will desperately be needing an improvement as he's going to round the final corner. Josef Frederik Schuto goes up to 4th in what is currently 4th and 5th for McLaren, as Mandic is going to make his way across the line. Is it an improvement for Mandic? No! No improvement for Thomas Mandic, and just isn't able to do it. But Daniel Fraser, what a lap from the British man. It's a 1:21.925. Mandic isn't able to get himself out of the drop zone, but Fraser can with a great lap. And that's gotten the quite uncompetitive Haas car into Q2, quite possibly. Very, very good lap then from the Brit, Daniel Fraser. And that pushes Wojtek Kulasek in the Alpine into the elimination zone. Now we'll have to wait and see if Kulasek is going to be able to set an improvement here. As he is about 5/10 off in the second sector, so it could very well be an improvement from the Czech man here. As Laban Zasniczkaj further improves on his time, and now it goes up into P11. So I'd say it's all but certain for Zasniczkaj to get himself up into Q2. But it's looking a bit shaky for Thomas Mandic at the moment. This is not how he would have liked to begin his season with Ferrari. As Kulasek is going to make his way across the line, and it's P13, and that is going to get him safe into Q2 with 2 minutes to go. It's a good lap from Thomas Mandic. Honorable mention to his teammate Franco Gambas. Look at this, Thomas Mandic has actually gone into the pits, so Mandic is confirmed out of Q2, and he will be starting P19 in this race, which is an absolute farce for the Croatian. This is a horrible way to start off your season for Tomas Mandic. So we're now looking at Alex Broster, who's going to get a lap in the final stages of Q1. Currently sits P17. We'll see if he is going to be able to get himself out of Q2 just like he did last season, as he goes through turns 3, and now as the track goes uphill through the left-hander of turn number 4 to get, as I think this is a DRS zone. Now then down to turn number 5. Really great overtaking spot this is, as you can carry your battles down, heading out turn 5 through the winding turns 6 and 7. Right-hander of turn 7 here, and then a blind corner here, turn 8. I think it's a bit of a slide there heading out of the corner. The track goes downhill and uphill yet again. There's a reason they do call this track the roller coaster, due to its elevation changes and its flowing corners. Heading into turn 13 now. Left-hander hit the apex. Now then into turn 14, Sagres holding the inside line there as you head through the fast turn number 15, gallop flat out through here in 7th gear, and you're just going to make your way across the line. Then what is Broster going to be able to do? Will it be another Q2 appearance for the man in the Williams as he goes across the line? Yes, it is for Alex Broster. 121.751, and that gets the man in the Williams safely through into Q2. Great stuff from Alex Broster. Jesper Johansson goes across the line. It's fastest for him. Fernando Tost, P9 for the man from Poland, and that is going to be, I think, both Aston Martins through into Q2. Dennis Graf comes in. Luca Farina is going to go across the line. It's going to be a Q2 appearance for the Italian now, as he will, in fact, out-qualify the man who replaced him at Ferrari last season, Tomas Mandic, at the moment. Alex Broster then, goes a bit wide there, but yeah, no worries in the world at the moment for Alex Broster, apart from if he could maybe get that Williams into Q3. So yeah, very well done once again from the two Williams boys. They seem to finally have got their act together this season, and they've got a very solid partnership, it seems like, in Broster and Arnold. Victor Album could be the man to try and get his Haas into Q2. If he's going to be able to get an improvement here, he should be the final man across the line. Then DRS engage for the Dane, as he's going to go across the line, and it's no improvement for Victor Album, unfortunately. P20 for the Dane, and that is Q1 done and dusted. Jesper Johansson is your fastest man then. And your bottom 5 is Will Parrish, Daniel Fraser, Daniel Walle, Tomas Mandic, and Victor Album. Bit unlucky for Will Parrish to get knocked out in Q1 then. I didn't even realize that he was knocked out, but yeah, AlphaTauri unfortunately won't be able to make both cars into Q2, so quite close for them. Daniel Fraser, great effort from him as well. I really have to commend him, but it just wasn't enough for him. Neither was it for Daniel Walle, nor Tomas Mandic. Tomas Mandic is obviously going to be the big talking point here at Portimao. And, well, yeah, it's quite a shame for Tomas. I don't think this is how his season would like to start, but obviously he'll just have to wait for the race. That's where he's going to be able to prove himself. And then, you know, Haas just haven't been looking too good this season either. Victor Album currently in last, and then Daniel Fraser in 17th. We'll see then what is going to happen. Alfa Romeo still looking quite good with Luca Farina, who was up there in the top 10, I do think. Then you have Alpine McLaren, Ferrari, and all those teams, and then Williams especially. We should never count out Williams, really. We'll see what they're able to do, as Alex Broster is the first man out on track now. The Brits making it 3 British drivers in Formula 1 this season now. So that is the most represented nationality on the field. Obviously, he has he's known to be quite a regular in Formula 2, but last season, or I don't think it was last season, I think was it 2 seasons ago. Yeah, 2 seasons ago at this track, he obviously stood in for Samet Özkan at the Portuguese Grand Prix. Back then, driving for Toro Rosso, he stood in for the race band Samet Özkan. And obviously for the majority of his career was part of the Red Bull Academy. He not only stood in for Samet Özkan in 2019, but 2 seasons before that, in 2017, he stood in for Giulia Cesetti at the Belgian Grand Prix, but did not start that race. And as a result, didn't properly make his Formula 1 debut. But yeah, he's, I guess, been regarded as a bit of a super sub in these last few years. So it's really good to see that he is able to make his mark in Formula 1 now. Points on debut is certainly a really, really good sign for the Brits. So he is now on his flying lap, heading through turns 9 and now into turn number 10. It's going to be really interesting to see what Williams are going to be able to do here, scoring 9 points in their first race, which is absolutely fantastic to see that Williams have finally been able to get it together here. Broster is going to set the first lap there. It's a 1:22.223 for the Williams man, Alex Broster. Labazasnishkai goes faster by 0.8 of a second then from Broster. It's a 1:21.410 by the Serbian. And the number 88 gets himself ahead of the number 99. And in between those two is the number 20, Jesper Johansson. And then there is the number 13, Kai Cherezhnia, with the 1:21.980. Jesper Johansson slower than Laban Zasnishka at the moment, which is quite the surprise. So we'll see what Jesper is going to be able to do. His qualifying at Bahrain did seem to be a bit scruffy, so we'll see if he maybe will be able to fix that heading into Q3. There's Josef Frederik Schuto across the line. Fernando Tost as well. 100th of Josef Frederik Schuto then. Everyone in the 1:21s then, apart from Broster and Alexander Arnold has gone through. I don't know what Alexander Arnold has been through, but he has had an absolute howler of a lap. That's a 1:25.3, and he is 3 seconds off the closest car. We saw him briefly battle with Dennis Graf. Yeah, I think Arnold must have had something, maybe like a crash or something, or a spin on his lap, because that is quite the deficit, as Graf will now be able to get past his fellow countryman, Alexander Arnold. Obviously, last time they shared the Formula 1 field full time, Dennis Groff was still racing for Ferrari, and Alexander Arnold was still racing for Mercedes. So both of the two Germans reunited, but under different teams. Tost goes up into 9th. They won 21.8, as we have all the first 15 times on the board then. And your bottom 5 at the moment is Chereznia, followed by Adelberg, Broster, Farina, and Arnold. So, yeah, it seems to be quite a regular Q2, I guess you could say that. You've got both McLarens in the into Q3 at the moment. McIntyre, in fact, fastest at the moment. So the Brit has done very, very well of himself. And then Zatnishka in second, and then Klaus in third in the Red Bull. Isn't able to do anything. But what does kind of elude me here is the pace of the Mercedes and the Red Bulls at the moment. Johansson and Parachki, P5 and P6, and Graf is all the way down in 8th. So I wonder if this is just a first few laps for these guys, just trying to get acclimatized to the track, or you know, maybe they're holding back to save up the car for Q3. I do definitely think that is the case, but it is a bit unusual, I would have to say so. As Schuto now improves up into 9th, pushes Tost down to the 10th. It's going to be interesting to see if any of these guys in the bottom 5 will be able to get themselves into Q3. We're looking at Luca Farina currently in 14th. See if he's going to be able to pull out anything here. I said last time he was in the Alfa Romeo, he did have some very, very good performances as well. And I guess it would be quite frustrating to see him lose the Ferrari seat. As we're looking at Ennis Parachki now, heading around the final corner. Let's see what Ennis is going to be able to do here then. As he goes across the line. Would it be an improvement for Ennis Parachki? Yes, but he will stay in P6, so a minute improvement from the Macedonian. There's Luca Farina across the line, then the Italian just starting his lap then, as he heads down into the left-handers of turns 1, 2, and then the braking zone of turn number 3. Now down into turn 4 as the track rises uphill down a still straightaway, which will have a DRS zone, and then to turn number 5 called the Torre Vip, as he heads into the sharp left-hander. Then into turns 6 and 7, heading up the hill into turn number 8, the braking zone of Samsung, as it is called. Then into turns 9 and 10, Portimao, and then to 11, and through 12, and then into turn number 13, then through the left-hander, hitting the apex, trying to get that exit speed. And as you head through Sagres, turn number 14, track going downhill now, and then into the final corner, turn number 15, and now we just have to see what lap time it is going to be for Luca Farina here. And across the line for Farina, and it is an improvement for Luca Farina, but not enough to get him into Q3 at the moment. It's only P12 for him at the moment. As we're looking at the man behind him at the moment, Josef Fredrik Schuto makes it a McLaren 1-2. Not anymore, as Jesper Johansson has now gone fastest. Ruined the fun of the McLarens, Jesper Johansson, with a 1:21 flat. He now takes the fastest spot with 20 seconds to go. Erik Adelberg, though, the Swiss man, is going to come around the final corner. Let's see what he is going to be able to do then, as he's going to go across the line. Will he be able to get himself into Q3 with this? Oh, close, but no cigar for Erik Adelberg. He will be P11. I think he just was able to squeeze in another lap there, though. So we'll see what Adelberg could do here. As Gamba goes across the line, no improvement for Franco. Brosser and Arnold and Cherezny in the pit lane, so all three of them confirmed out. Decent effort from the two Aston Martins, but just not enough they can do. Fernando Tost could just get himself into Q3 here. As Luca Farina is next across the line then. Is he going to be able to improve as he goes across the line? Yes, but it's only P13 for Luca Farina, unfortunately for him. No Q3 appearance, but it's still a very good effort from the Italian. As Johansson now goes across the line. No improvement for Johansson. Shuto is in, so is Wojtek Kulasek. Then comes Fernando Tost, Polish man across the line. What can he do? No improvement for Fernando Tost. But unless this man, Erik Adelberg, can improve, Tost will be through into Q3. As, yeah, he is in. Erik Adelberg is in, and that is Fernando Tost through into Q3. So, very well done then from Tost in the Aston Martin. Now going to look at Franco Gamba. He comes in as well. Very respectable effort from Gamba. Klaus comes in. So I think that is qualifying over with. Laban Zosnishka is going to be the final man across the line. No, apparently he isn't. But yeah, there is Q2 over with. Jesper Johansson fastest once again. And your bottom five is Erik Adelberg, followed by Kai Cherezny, Luca Farina, Alex Broster, and Alexander Arnold. Interesting to see Tost into Q3 though. I think he did very, very well of himself, but yeah, it's a shame for Adelberg getting very, very close to his first ever Q3 appearance in Formula 1. He'll be quite bummed out with that one, but either way, he's close to the points, so he'll still be happy about that, I do think. Kai Cherezny in 12th as well. Would have liked to join his teammate Fernando Tost in Q3, but I think it's still a decent effort from him and Aston Martin today. Same with Luca Farina in the Alfa Romeo. But we'll just have to wait and see what is going to happen in Q3. Obviously, McLaren, I have to say, have been looking fantastic on the pace in Q1 and Q2. And if they could carry that pace onto Q3, we could really see something special today. Same with Ferrari. Laban Zosnishka, even though Mandic currently didn't really do so well in qualifying, Zosnishka has been looking electric so far. And we'll see what he will be able to do. Oh, excuse me for a bit. Apologies for the break. I am back now, and we are here for some Q3 action. Franco Gamba, who we're currently on board with in the Alpine, now heads through turn number 13 and then into turn 14. As we'll see how this lap is gonna go for Franco Gamba. Round Galp, then turn 15, the final corner. Let's see what it is gonna be. Let's see what it is gonna be for Franco Gamba as he goes across the line, and it is the benchmark time 1:22.386 from the man in the Alpine, Franco Gamba, and it is immediately topped by Alfred Klaus in the Red Bull, but not by much. So yeah, that is actually quite interesting to see. Just have to wait for the next couple of laps then. Next across the line will be, I'm not sure who it is, but yeah, it's going to be Fernando Tost, who's currently on the lap then as he heads through turn number 13. I did just notice a cool feature on the track map on the right there. I didn't even know that, but when the indicator is yellow for a car, it means they're on a flying lap, and when it's a kind of brownish yellow, it means that they're on an in or out lap. I didn't actually know that. That's really helpful. But tossed across the line, and then the two McLarens as well, both go faster than Alfred Klaus, and currently the only guys in the 121s. So good stuff from McLaren. They could genuinely be a threat today to the likes of Red Bull and Mercedes. And in fact, Dennis Graf has gone slower than both the Red Bulls. So has Enis Parachki, but not Jesper Johansson. He's in fact gone about 4/10 faster than the two Mercedes. Who else but Johansson? As he has now gone fastest. And well, this surely has gotten quite interesting now. As there goes Lamas Asnishka up into P5. He splits Graf and Parachki. So good stuff from the Ferrari man as well. But with 3 minutes to go, we're going to have to wait and see how this, how the order can still be shaken up. Fernando Tost in 9th for Aston Martin. A very, very good showing from the Polish man as he's going to go across the line now. What will Tost be able to do here then? As it's no improvement for Fernando Tost so far. We're now looking at Dennis Graf. Can he challenge for pole position with this lap? As he goes across the line, we're going to find out now. We're heading around the final corner. And to the line for Dennis Graf. Will it be an improvement? Will he be able to get himself out of P4 with this lap? He improves, but he is not able to get himself out of P4. And he'll stay where he is for the time being. Not able to get himself into the 121s either. Currently, it is only the two McLarens and Jesper Johansson currently there. There is Enis Parachki in 6th at the moment, unlike the world champion, down in 6th position at the moment, but we'll see if he's going to be able to get up there to challenge his teammate. Johansson's come into the pits, so I think the Swede doesn't see any need for another improvement. And I have to say, it was an absolutely great lap from Jesper Johansson as well. 4/10 clear of anyone else is absolutely crazy. And a 9/10 personal improvement is ridiculous to say the least. So I will see what he's going to be able to do. As Josef Frederic Schuto, 2nd for the Slovakia, and he gets himself ahead of his teammate. This could be his best ever qualifying position in his Formula 1 career, Josef Frederic Schuto. As Dennis Graf is next across the line, then is he gonna improve? Yes, but it's still only P4. He's 4/1000ths off Lewis McIntyre in the McLaren. Parachki across the line as well, cannot improve. And yeah, I don't know what it is with the likes of Graf and Parachki at the moment, but Enis is just not able to find the pace. It's being out qualified by both the Ferrari of Lama Zasnishkai and the two McLarens. And with 20 seconds to go, who is going to be able to get up there with Jesper Johansson? It is looking like quite a one-sided fight for pole at the moment, but will it be able to change as the checker flag is just about to fall in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and now 0. The checker flag is out. Tost isn't able to get a lap, and he comes into the pit lane. McIntyre is going to finish his lap then. What will the McLaren man be able to do as he's going to go across the line now? And it is no improvement for McIntyre. Neither is it for Josef Frederick Schuto in second. Either way, a fantastic effort from the two McLarens. P2 and P3. It's going to be a front row start for McLaren for I think the first time ever in Formula 1. As Dennis Groff's going to go across the line. He's going to make sure that doesn't happen, but he isn't able to do that. It's only P4 for Dennis Groff. Next across the line, Franco Gamba doesn't improve. Enis Parachki will only be 6th here at Portugal. He's gone across the line and hasn't been able to find an improvement. Enis Parachki, the man who's so esteemed for his qualifying performances, will only be P6 here at Portimao with his teammate Jesper Johansson, who could be able to secure the pole here. Most likely will be on pole unless these two guys, Josef Frederick Schuto and Lewis McIntyre, will be able to do anything. And right now it is looking unlikely that these two McLarens will be able to take the fight to Mercedes, as McIntyre is going to go around the second to last corner. Now into the final corner. They will be the final two guys to be able to have a chance of stopping Jesper Johansson here. McIntyre comes in. Schuto's going to continue. Will Josef Frederick Schuto be able to stop the two-time world champion from grabbing pole position this season? No! Schuto will be second. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. On pole position here at Portimao, Jesper Johansson is your pole man here for the Portuguese Grand Prix. And, well, quite I have to say, a very, very interesting Q3 then. McLaren being the dark horse here. P2 and P3, they're going to be absolutely elated with that result, I do think. But Jesper Johansson securing pole, his first of the season then. This is going to be very interesting to see then, especially with Enis Parachki down in 6th. And then Schuto and McIntyre in second and third. The question here then will be if McLaren could genuinely take the fight to Mercedes for the race lead here. It's going to be exciting, though, especially to see what the likes of Parachki and then even Mandic at the lower parts of the field. Well, I shouldn't say Parachki, but maybe Thomas Mandic as well will be able to do at the lower end of the field. And same with Parachki in 6th. With a lowly qualifying position. It's going to be interesting to see if he's going to be able to challenge Jesper Johansson. Otherwise, Jesper might get the upper hand of him in the championship here today. Then obviously the Red Bulls as well. Alfred Klaus, it's 7th for him, and then Dennis Groff in 4th. We'll be looking to break up those two McLarens, and Laban Sasnishkai could maybe be a bit of a dark horse as well in this. P5 at the moment. And here we are then for the starting grid. The grid is set And we're just about to go lights out, but before that, it is time to go through the starting grid, and it is Jesper Johansson, first pole this season for the Super Swede, and accompanying him on the front row, Josef Frederik Schuto in second. Lewis McIntyre starts third in what is a brilliant qualifying, I think the best ever qualifying for McLaren in the ACOC, and Dennis Graf starts in P4. Lamaz Asnishka is 5th with Enis Parachki in P6. Alfred Klaus is 7th with Franco Gamba in P8, and Fernando Tost starts in 9th with Wojtek Kulasek rounding out the top 10. Eric Alderberg narrowly missed out on Q3. He starts P11 with Kai Chereshny alongside him in 12th. Then it's Luca Farina in 13th with Alex Broster in P14. Behind him is Williams teammate Alexander Arnold in 15th with Will Parrish starting in 16th. Daniel Fraser is 17th in a decent qualifying for Haas. And it's Daniel Walla in 18th with Thomas Mandic a lowly 19th starting at the back of the grid. And alongside him, taking the final spot on the grid, is Victor Albom in 20th. Now then, let's go down to the grid. 36 laps await us of racing action here at Portimao. Jesper Johansson on pole position as we have 6 lights, and we're underway here at Portugal. Good start for Jesper Johansson, not as good of a start for Josef Frederik Schuto, and Johansson is going to get the early advantage as Dennis Groff there is going to go wheel to wheel with Lewis McIntyre, but McIntyre able to hold off the world champion. Speaking of world champion, Enis Parachki had a look on Dennis Groff. They're trying to get up into 4th, but Groff will be able to defend from the Macedonian unless he's going to be able to try something into turn number 5. Here is Alfred Klaus, and Lavas Asnishka now goes side by side for P6 as Klaus is able to get the Ferrari man now up at the 6. Asnishka's going to try to retaliate on the inside line there, but Klaus closes the door on the Serbian. There is Chereshnya and Tost, the 2 Aston Martin teammates, fighting it out for P9. Then Chereshnya with a very, very good start, trying to make the most of it here, and he's unfortunately not able to get past his teammates. Not quite though, as they're still wheel to wheel. Then heading into turn 12, Tost is able to get ahead. Here comes Will Parrish though, who's had a lightning start from P16 all the way up to P10. The American is flying and could get himself into the points here as he's going to go round the outside line of Kai Chereshnya. What a start from Will Parrish, the young American. You love to see it, as here is Wojtek Kulasek and Kai Chereshnya now fighting. Chereshnya losing positions at the start. This is not what he would like to do then, as we now approach lap 2. Kulasek on the inside line of Chereshnya as the 2 go wheel to wheel. Is he going to be able to get past the Polish man? No, not quite. Kulasek has to stay behind the man in the Aston Martin as he runs a bit wide, trying to follow the Polish man, but in the lead at the moment, Jesper Johansson leads by 0.8 of a second from Lewis McIntyre, and then Dennis Groff and Enis Parachkis. Here's Thomas Mandic now trying to get past Alexander Arnold into turn number 5, and he does so. Up into P15 goes Thomas Mandic. Arnold trying to make up a few positions there. There is Fraser and Albom fighting each other. Daniel Fraser going to try to go round the outside line of his teammate here, heading out of turn number 8, and he is able to get the move done on his teammate there. So good stuff from Daniel Fraser. Then up ahead is Luca Farina, who hasn't had the greatest of starts either. He's shuffled down the order quite massively. I think he will be quite frustrated with that, as I wonder if we could get the position gains on screen then, as Johansson now lead by 2nd. And you can see, wow, what a start for Will Parrish, who's climbed 6 positions in his AlphaTauri. That is absolutely crazy. Labas Asnishka down 2 positions. Kulasek and Adelberg down 2 as well. Farina is down 4 and Walla is down 2 as well. But Parrish, take a bow. That is a great start from the American. You love to see it from the AlphaTauri man. And well, yeah, other than that, status quo mostly held in the top 5. Johansson now trying to pull the gap as we're now on lap 3. DRS has been enabled for the drivers, and obviously it is only usable if you're within 1 second of the car ahead. And Johansson trying to make sure that doesn't happen, considering he is in the deficit there. Here's Daniel Walle trying not to be last here. He's going to go around the outside line of Victor Album, and he gets the better run compared to Album and is able to get up into P19 and sends the Haas driver down into last. Good stuff from Daniel Walle, but is he going to be able to dispose of the other Haas ahead of him? Daniel Fraser. Time will have to tell. So we got Enis Parachki, who is a second off, who is chasing down Dennis Groff, who Groff is currently a second off Lewis McIntyre in third. And I think he had a bit of a look there. He thought about the move on Dennis Groff there, as Jesper Johansson now has the fastest lap of the race. Oh, Parachki runs a bit wide though, trying to follow Dennis Groff. That's going to lose him time. And he is in a bit of a Red Bull sandwich at the moment. There's Alfred Klaus in 6th there. Is going to try to pester the Macedonian here. As we're looking at Lewis McIntyre trying to chase down his teammate Josef Fredrik Schuto. McIntyre wanting that P2. Either way, as it stands at the moment, it's a double podium for McLaren. We'll see what he is going to be able to do though, as he heads around the final corner. And he's going to have the DRS this lap as well. With the DRS engaged now, gap is about 6/10, so I don't think he is close enough to gain anything. They're setting about equal lap times compared to each other. Here's Daniel Walle then with the DRS. He's gonna try to go to the inside line of Daniel Fraser, trying to make the move stick with the DRS. He's ahead before the corner, and Daniel Walle goes up at the P18 and gets back into his original starting spot, getting past the two Hasses. But now he has quite the gap to his teammate Farina in 17th, so we'll see what is going to happen there. With the Walle and Farina didn't really get off to the greatest of starts with each other as teammates when they collided at the Bahrain Grand Prix. So we're looking at Fernando Tost now. He's chasing down Franco Gamba in the Alpine. Five tenths is the gap between the two at the moment, so we'll see what Tost is going to be able to do here. Trying to get up into P8. Oh, is that Gamba running a bit wide though? I think Tost tried to take advantage of it, but wasn't quite able to. Either way, that's going to be good news for Fernando Tost. That gap is only 4 tenths now to Franco Gamba, and he's going to have the DRS to his 8 now to try and make a move on Gamba. Here he goes then to the inside line of the Italian. Has a look, but he's about a car length between the two, so he isn't able to get past Franco Gamba for the time being. There's Gamba's teammate Kulasek fighting another Aston Martin. That's Kai Cherezhnia, but Cherezhnia remaining cool as ice. Kulasek not able to get past the Polish man whom he has been stuck behind for all these laps. Here is Will Parrish then, looking very, very good on form, enjoying his day. He is currently on the back of Fernando Tost, waiting to strike against the Aston Martin. We'll see what he is going to be able to do then, as he is in this battle for P8 along with Fernando Tost and possibly even Kai Cherezhnia and Wojtek Kulasek if they are able to get close enough to these guys. As we now look a bit further up the field, Enis Parachki still trying to chase down Dennis Groff. Groff holding up the Macedonian to the best of his ability. as Parachki now gets the DRS. Is he gonna be able to punch his way past his fellow world champion? Not quite. Heading into turn 1, into turn number 3. This has a look on the inside, but he runs a bit wide through turn 3. Drivers seem to find it really easy to run wide while you're in this dirty air of another car there. So yeah, Ennis having to stay back for the time being. He just needs to get close enough to Graf to be able to get his way past, but he just isn't able to find that 1/10, a 1 or 2 extra tenths that he needs. So he's just gonna have to hope that he's just gonna have to pressure Graf into a mistake here of some sorts, or just somehow increase the pace. As a situation in the race lead, then Jesper Johansson leads by 1.5 seconds ahead of Josef Fredrik Schuto, then Lewis McIntyre 7/10 off his teammate at the moment. So McIntyre not quite able to close down the gap to his teammate. And well, at the moment he doesn't really have to worry about Dennis Graf. So yeah, he isn't really worried about defense too much, I don't think, Lewis McIntyre. As we see Fernando Tost trying to go to the inside line of Franco Gamba. Is he able to get it wheel to wheel through turn 2? Yes, he is then. As we now head into the braking zone, Gamba swinging around the outside line. They bang wheels heading through turn number 3. And it's going to be Gamba who does remain ahead for the time being. Tost doesn't get the best of runs. Is Will Parrish going to get involved into it? Oh, it's 3 wide heading down into turn 5 maybe. No, Parrish has the back out of it. Tost on the inside line. It's going to go wheel to wheel with Franco Gamba through turn 7. Is he going to be able to get it done then heading into Samsung? I think he is going to be able to get it done. Yes, he does. Fernando Tost up into 8th. Great stuff from the Polish man. And he will be through and grab himself 2 more World Championship points. Will Parrish as well was trying to get himself into that battle as well. I don't think making it 3 wide was the right choice there. But he was trying to pick up the scrap from the battle, and now he will be wanting to be the next man to try and get past Franco Gamba to try and keep it level with Fernando Tost. As they head through the final corner. DRS engaged for Will Parrish now. And is he going to be able to get close enough to Franco Gamba? Not quite. So he will stay where he is for the time being. Looking further up the field, Alfred Klaus still trying to put the pressure on Ennis Parachki here, heading into turn number 5. Nothing changing just yet here. As we head up into turn number 8. Here again. Oh, was that a bit of a mistake from Alfred Klaus? I thought it looked like a bit of a minor lockup from the Swede, but that could bring Laban Zasnishkai in the Ferrari a tiny bit closer to Alfred Klaus in the Red Bull. We'll see if Laban Zasnishkai could maybe do something here. As you can see, yes, Klaus has lost a very big margin of time to Ennis Parachki, so we'll see what Laban's going to be able to do. Either way, he isn't able to do much, as Klaus is still within a second of Parachki, so he isn't able to really get that advantage over the Red Bull man at the time, for the time being. As we're going to look at Wojtek Kulasek, still trying to chase down Kaj Chereshnia. Nothing comes out of it though for Wojtek Kulasek at the moment. As there is quite the gap now between Fernando Tost and Laban Zasnishkai. You can see the field is kind of split apart into 2 or, well, 3 groups. We do count the 2 Hasses. But yeah, I wonder how this will play out. As we're now looking at Lewis McIntyre chasing down Josef Frederick Schuto. Here is Ennis Parachki, still putting the pressure on Dennis Graf now. Question is then if Ennis Parachki will be able to get past Dennis Graf in these following laps. He obviously looks like the faster man at the moment. But I don't know if he's going to be able to get his way past, at least not on this lap. We just have to wait and see, as he has the DRS to his aid now. As he actually does set the fastest lap now in his Parachki. So that's going to be 1 World Championship point to his name. As we're now looking at Thomas Vandic in 15th at the moment. Not really able to get past Alex Broster in 14th, so Vandic seems to be struggling with his race pace here at the moment. We're now looking at Will Parrish trying to chase down Franco Gamba, but they're all stuck in this little DRS train behind each other. So yeah, I think it is a bit of a stalemate. They're just gonna have to have someone slip up. It's a bit of a mistake, and as I just do say that, Will Parrish runs very, very wide, and Kai Chereshkin is gonna try and take advantage of that. As they are wheel to wheel heading through turn number 12. Oh, commentator's curse has never been more real, ladies and gentlemen. But that is Will Parrish, who went very, very wide. I think that was at turn number 13. And now is out of DRS. This is gonna give Chereshnia the time to strike on the American, as he has the DRS heading into turn number 1. Then Chereshnia on the inside line. Will he be able to keep it wheel to wheel with the American? No, not quite. And Chereshnia will remain in 10th. Decent defending from Will Parrish. And I think Kulasek had a bit of a look on the outside line there. Oh, wow. I think that is a classic instance of commentator's curse, ladies and gentlemen. I did jinx Parrish there. Timing on that was amazing. Either way, we're looking further up the field now. And it seems like Dennis Graf is edging himself a bit closer to McIntyre. As the laps go by, the gap is under a second now, as McIntyre seems unable to be able to keep up with he seems unable to keep up with his teammate Josef Frederick Schuto, and this spells good news for Dennis Graf, but it spells bad news for Ennis Parachki, because now he's been roped in to a little bit of a DRS train, as Graf has actually set the fast lap of the race now. So could we see the man in the Red Bull try and split up these two McLarens? As we head through turn number 5 into turn 6 and 7, he is gaining by quite a bit. McIntyre losing time on Josef Frederick Schuto. So I wonder if McIntyre might just have to hold back a tiny bit as they head through turn number 11, that is, and now through turns 12 and 13. Then through turn 15 now, he's going to have the DRS heading down the start-finish straight, 4 tenths is the gap between the two. Is Groff going to be able to get close enough to strike? Yes, he is. He's going to go to the inside line, heading into turn number 1. He's going to try to get that Red Bull onto the podium as he has a look on the inside line through turn number 2, but he just isn't able to keep it wheel to wheel with the Brit. And now this brings Enis Parachki so much closer to Dennis Groff then, heading down to turn number 5. Is he going to be able to try anything? No. Parachki is going to have to stay behind for the time being. He's going to have to wait for another opportunity to get past Dennis Groff. And, well, yeah, Groff was able to get up and alongside him at turn number 1, but he just wasn't able to get, or he just wasn't able to keep it wheel to wheel through the other corners. I think the outside line through the first corner seems to be the better line, because I think you have more traction on the outside line, surprisingly enough. As Groff is going to get another opportunity now on McIntyre. He's going to get the DRS to his aid. Is he going to be able to get close enough again to go wheel to wheel with the Brit this lap? No, not quite. He's going to stay behind. Now heading into Lagos, turn number 3. Runs a bit wide and isn't able to do anything. Opportunity wasted for Dennis Groff, I do think. And yeah, he has to wait now another lap and has to try and regain the time that he lost through the rest of the lap. So he heads now into turn number 14. Now into turn number 15. Have to see what he is going to be able to do. Gap is 9/10 now to McIntyre. So that makes me wonder if Lewis McIntyre is actually able to pull away from Dennis Groff. Just has to make sure to build enough of a gap to Dennis Groff. So we'll see what is gonna happen then. Heading down into turn number 5 then. Dennis Groff on lap 16 out of 36. So there's still quite a bit to go in the race, and obviously anything can still happen in all of these laps. And we'll just have to wait and see what is going to happen. Oh no! Oh no, that is Lewis McIntyre, who's round at turn 11. What has happened to Lewis McIntyre? The man was running P3. It could have been a double podium for McLaren. And oh, he's gone wide and rejoined into Enis Parachki. That is a massive error from Lewis McIntyre, and he is going to be the first DNFer here at Portimao. That is massive points for McLaren, squandered by their star driver Lewis McIntyre, and that is going to bring Dennis Groff into the podium. But that is a major error from Lewis McIntyre. Oh, I cannot believe that. And big drama here at Portugal. Our first DNFer is Lewis McIntyre. After quite a mistake, he is going to be quite frustrated with himself, I do assume. But yeah, that what could have been a double podium for McLaren has been thrown away in the blink of an eye, just like that. And now that puts Dennis Groff into the podium and Kai Chereshnia into the points. As we're looking at Luca Farina still chasing down Alexander Arnold, trying to make up the positions that he lost on the start. We'll see if he's going to be able to do it. Now we're looking at Will Parrish, who obviously had his mistake earlier, but he has been able to catch up to Franco Gamba, and Gamba, who has been keeping Fernando Tost company here, trying to get past the man. We'll see if he will be able to do it later on. But Parrish, I have to say, has been driving a very, very good race so far. Here is Luca Farina then, having a look on the inside line of Alex Arnold. Isn't able to do anything though, and will have to stay behind, as behind Daniel Wale runs a bit wide, trying to get his teammate Luca Farina. We'll see then if Farina's going to be able to get past the Williams of Alexander Arnold, who has a 3.2 second gap to Tomas Mandic in 14th. There is Wojta Kulasek, now trying to still putting the pressure on Kai Chereshnia, as they're now fighting for P10. Tosta and Gamba fighting for 7th now. Gamba with the DRS. Is he going to get close enough to Fernando Tost? He's going to go to the inside line then into turn 1, but he gets a very poor exit out of turn number 1. Is Parrish going to be able to do anything here? Possibly. Had a look on the outside, but I think he did run wide actually. So I think that has cost him Will Parrish. But we'll still see what the American will be able to do. Wojta Kulasek trying to chase down Kai Chereshnia. Here's Daniel Wale. Is he going to have a look on Luca Farina? Not quite. He stays behind his Alfa Romeo teammate for the time being. We'll see what is going to happen then as everyone heads through turn number 11. Now through 12 and 13. What is Franco Gamba going to be able to do in these corners? And down into turn number 1, I wonder. Round the final corner then. Has to get the best exit possible. And he's going to have the aid of the DRS now. Is Franco Gamba going to be able to do it and get up into P7? He's got the DRS to his advantage. And he's going to go to the inside line. He's going to go up and alongside Fernando Tost. Now through turn 1. Oh, bit of a slide there for Gamba. And I think he's going to have to back out of it once again. Yet another opportunity wasted for Franco Gamba. And yeah, that is not ideal at all for Gamba. I think both Parrish and Gamba did run wide through that corner. That's actually brought Kai Chereshnia closer to this little pack. So we'll see what Chereshnia is going to be able to do. As they all head up turn number 8. This is a very exciting midfield battle, I do have to say. We have so many drivers involved in it. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who is gonna come out on top at the moment, because yeah, we've also got a lot of teams. There's, what is this, 4 teams from 7th to 10th. So I have to say, yeah, it's interesting to see who's going to come out on top here. As we're now going to head down the start-finish straight once more. Could it be another opportunity for Franco Gamba to strike on Fernando Tost? I don't think so, and yeah, he isn't close enough to Tost at the moment. Heading into turn 4, he runs a bit wide, and it's brought Will Parrish closer as a result. What will Parrish be able to do then, as he's gonna get a nice little slipstream on Gamba heading into turn 5? Opts to stay behind the Italian for the time being. And Parrish, who's looking very, very good on the pace, just has to find the way to get past Gamba. Gets close now then through Craig Jones. The gap is about 0.3 of a second between the two. Head through turn 11. Gamba, I think, struggles a bit to try and keep up with Tost now. Gap is about 0.8 of a second. So could Parrish now become the star and try and shoot his way past Franco Gamba? As they head through the final corner. 0.5 the gap between Gamba and Parrish. DRS engaged, but obviously Franco is going to have the DRS as well, so there isn't really, no one's really gaining anything on each other at the moment. As we're looking at Mandic, he's now on the back of Alex Broster. Now looking at Thomas Mandic's teammate Alfred Klaus, as the gap in the top 5. It's very, very lonely in the top 5 at the moment, it seems like, for the drivers there. As everyone is split apart by at least a second. Laban Zasnishka trying to take advantage of it, and as he's still on the back, I should say. Still on the back of Alfred Klaus, but he runs wide through turn number 11. That turn 11 has been catching so many people out today. And now it's claimed yet another victim of Laban Zasnishkai, who's run wide there. And as a result, he's lost over a second to Klaus in P5. And that is not what you'd be wanting to do. As they head through turn number 15, gap is 0.9 to Tost now, so Parrish just needs a tiny bit more to be able to gain an advantage on Gamba. Gamba, I don't even think he actually got the DRS that lap. I didn't look like the flap was engaged. It might have been, but it didn't look like it, at least from what I saw. Either way, as Gamba is now over a second behind Fernando Tost now, this is going to be Parrish's golden opportunity to strike on Franco Gamba. Just has to hope to make no silly mistakes throughout the lap and just try and do it as best as he can. Heading through turn 8 then. Now into turn 11 they will go. Now through 12 and 13. Gap is about 0.4 of a second. It's the experienced midfield veteran Franco Gamba versus the American rookie Will Parrish. As now then through the final corner, what can Will Parrish do? As the DRS is engaged and he is closing in on Franco Gamba here. Is he going to go to the inside line heading into turn 1? Yes, he is. Through turn 2 then, isn't close enough to try and make the move on Gamba. Runs a bit wide as a result, but still close on the back of the Alpine man. So we'll see what he is going to be able to do then. As here is a battle that we haven't really been paying attention to. Josef Frederik Schuto versus Dennis Graf. Graf, 5/10 between him and Schuto at the moment. So we'll see what the Dennis is going to be able to do then, as they head through turn 14 and 15. DRS is going to be engaged for the man who won his first ever world title here 5 years ago now. Is going to have the DRS engaged. What is he going to do then heading into turn number 1? Is he going to be able to go on up alongside? It's a move from quite a long way back. And through turn 2, he is wheel to wheel with Josef Frederik Schuto now into Lagos. Then Schuto later on the brakes, very, very close between the two then, as Schuto has the inside line and is able to hold off the world champion. Graf, though, I think has gotten the better run on the Slovakian. Heading down to turn number 5, Schuto later on the brakes, but Graf is able to swing it round with more traction as they are wheel to wheel now through turns number 6 and 7. Dennis Graf should have the advantage heading up into turn number 8. Into Samsung they go. He has the outside line, gets on the power earlier and makes the move up into second. That is a world champion move from none other than Dennis Graf. Up into second he goes, and he's now on the back of Jesper Johansson. He could catch up to the Swede here and be in contention for the race lead here. And how the tables turn so quickly in this race. Jesper Johansson, who's been dominating all in these past 25 laps, could face pressure from none other than his longtime rival Dennis Graf. As we're now looking at Josef Frederik Schuto, still on the back of Dennis Graf here. He does not want to let that P2 go. Gonna try to grab every single point from McLaren here, as we're now looking at Will Parrish. 4/10, 3/10 the gap between him and Franco Gamba. DRS active for Will Parrish. Is he gonna be able to make the move stick then heading into turn number 1? I don't think so. On the inside line, Gamba holds him off. And he's trying to get past that. I think, was that Chereshny running wide? Yes, it was. Kulasek tried to find the advantage there on the Polish man, and he's looking close. He's got the run on Chereshny here into turn 5. Late braking maneuver from Wojtek Kulasek. That is what you love to see from the Czech man, as they now head down into turn number 6 and 7. Kulasek on the outside line then. Will it be able to make it stick through Samsung on the outside line? Gets the better traction and gets the move down finally from Wojtek Kulasek. That is what you love to see. Oh, was that a bit of a slide as Chereshnya with the lockup? Adelberg goes past. Massive error from Kai Chereshnya, and that's going to send the Polish driver down into 12th. And he's now got Alex Broster to deal with there in 13th, and Tomas Mandic as well. Wow, and again, just how quickly things changed like that. Chereshnya, who was looking to get Parrish only a few laps earlier, one mistake sends him down into 12th. And yeah, the midfield never sleeps, as we do know. So now look at the oncoming battle for the race lead. Dennis Graf versus Jesper Johansson. A tale for the ages. It's what you love to see, ladies and gentlemen. 7/10 the gap between the two right now. And Graf looking very, very good on the pace. So we'll see what he is going to be able to pull out of the hat here then. Dennis Graf. Classic Red Bull versus Mercedes battle that we've always seen. Lap 27 of 36 though, under 10 laps to go now for Dennis Graf, so he doesn't have doesn't have all the time in the world to be able to get this done. So he's just gonna have to hope that he is able to do something here. As we look a bit further down the field, and the two Alfa Romeos might engage in battle here, as Vala is going to have the DRS on Farina. I think Farina just got it though, or did he? I don't think he did actually, and he didn't. Here comes Daniel Vala then on Luca Farina. The two are going to go wheel to wheel, heading through turn 1, but through turn 2, Farina is able to hold off Vala, and thus they will stay where they are. Here is Will Parrish then, still trying to chase down Franco Gamba, but just hasn't been able to do anything in these past few laps. He's just stayed behind and, well, held his patience, as we have a very, very spicy lead battle. Look at this. Jesper Johansson, Dennis Graf, Josef Fredrik Schuto, and Enis Parachki all in this little pack with each other. This is going to get interesting, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll just have to see what's going to happen here, as Graf now might get the run on Jesper Johansson. Is he going to try it into turn number 1? He does try it, but Johansson easily defends around the outside line. No nonsense defending from Jesper Johansson, and is able to keep it. Schuto has a look on the outside there, but right now isn't able to do anything on Dennis Graf. And again, it's things like this when you're in such a close pack. One little mistake, because as we do know, battling is costly. One little mistake in a battle could result in the other guy behind you sending it off the inside line when you least expect it. As Graf still trying to catch up to Jesper Johansson. He's got 7 laps to do it now. It's going to be really interesting to see what's going to happen. Oh, was that a mistake? Well, I think it was a lockup from Dennis Graf there. And that's cost him big time, in fact, because now he is out of the DRS range from Jesper Johansson. That's the worst possible mistake he could have made there. And Josef Fredrik Schuto is now going to have the DRS, and he's going to try to punch his way past Dennis Graf. Then heading into turn number 1, he's going to have the inside line, as he's going to try to give it wheel to wheel through turn 2. Isn't able to do anything though. And he's going to have to stay behind for the time being. Runs a bit wide. Enis Parachki tries to take advantage of it. And I think he's got the better run on Schuto here. Is he going to try to send the McLaren man out of the podium? Not quite yet. Parachki has to stay behind. And yeah, nothing Enis can do at the moment. Schuto having to stay in 3rd. And Graf just has to recuperate his losses here. Has to drive to the utmost of his ability to try and get past world champion for the race lead. Is this Parachki though having a look on Schuto into Craig Jones? I think that was. I think he was having a bit of a cheeky look on Schuto there, but wasn't able to get past. Now then, heading down the start-finish straight. What can you do, Mr. Schuto? As he's going to go to the inside line then of Dennis Graf, once again putting the pressure on the world champion, but doesn't get the best of exits out of turn number 2. Runs a bit wide. Parachki there behind, trying to take the best of advantage that he can, but he just isn't able to do it. And has to stay behind them for the time being, Enes Parachki, but he's just getting so close, lap after lap, to that podium. "31 of 36, 5 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen, and the action does not stop here at Portimao. Everyone is just fighting everyone here. It's such a close gap between Parachki and Shuto, all for the fight for the podium here. As Graf is over a second now behind Jesper Johansson, so he won't get the DRS. So all that battling with him and Shuto has paid off in the favor of Jesper Johansson. So I think Johansson can breathe now in these final 4 laps, but it's important not to let your guard down, obviously. So we're now looking at Will Parrish, and will get past Franco Gamba. We will just have to wait and see. I'm really sorry. Either way, 3/10 is the gap between him and Gamba, as Parrish still tries to get Gamba here. He's in a bit of an Alpine sandwich as Kulasek is putting the pressure on Will Parrish. I have to say, Wojtek Kulasek is driving a very good race as well. He's been looking solid through all these laps and very consistent as well. Enes Parachki just getting closer and closer to Shuto. He wants that podium here today, especially considering his teammate Johansson will be taking the championship lead after Portimao. There is Will Parrish though. Is he close enough to Franco Gamba? It sure looks like it. 4/10 is the gap between Parrish and Gamba. And we're going to see if he's going to be able to do it now with the DRS engaged. Will he get close enough? He's going to try a move on the inside line, but he isn't close enough, I don't think. And he's going to stay behind though. There is Alfred Klaus onto Enes Parachki as the two are going to go wheel to wheel. Enes has been so preoccupied with fighting Josef Shuto, he's forgotten about the man behind him, Alfred Klaus. They head up into turn number 8. Klaus is going to swing it around the outside line. He gets the better traction and is going to be through into P4, and that is going to be costly for Enes Parachki with 3 laps to go. He's lost yet another position. And now Klaus is going to try to make it a Red Bull double podium here. Now it's going to be his turn to try and pressure Josef Frederik Schuto for that 3rd place. As he's going to get the slipstream now. Will he be able to get past? Not quite, not yet. It's Parrish then closing in on Franco Gamba. Is he going to be able to do anything here into turn 1 this time? He is up and alongside the Italian now into turn 2. Are they going to be wheel to wheel? Not quite. Franco Gamba just closes the door on the American. Oh, I have to say, I've been looking brilliant on the pace, but he just hasn't been able to get past him at the moment. Here's Dennis Groff then. 6/10 the gap between him and Johansson, so it might not be quite over yet for him. We'll see then 2 laps to go for Dennis Groff The two world champions will possibly clash again. So the DRS is going to be active now for Dennis Graf. It's going to close in on Jesper Johansson, but he isn't close enough to try a move. Now we're going to look at Graf's teammate as he's going to try to go onto the inside line of Josef Fredrik Schuto here. Schuto on the outside line should be able to hold him off then into turn number 2. Yes, he does. Klaus not able to get past him. I have to say, so far, Josef Fredrik Schuto has been looking like a brick wall. Not letting anyone past. Defensive capability of this man is incredible, I really have to say so. So there's Parrish, tried the move there on Franco Gamba. Parrish then, is he going to be able to do anything? Is he going to be able to get past Franco Gamba in these final few laps? We'll just have to wait and see. As we're now on lap 35 out of 36. Parachki chasing down Klaus. Klaus chasing down Schuto. Schuto chasing down Graf. And Graf chasing down Jesper Johansson in the race lead. It's going to be really interesting to see then, as we will now, as we round the final corner. We're going to start the final lap of the race, and now it is do or die for most of these guys. Alfred Klaus is going to be able to try it on Josef Fredrik Schuto now. Is he going to get through into third then as the two are wheel to wheel then heading into turn 2, and Klaus is able to go up alongside him and into turn number 3 then. Schuto swings around the outside, contact between the two. Schuto on the inside through turn number 4 is able to defend from Alfred Klaus. Great stuff from Josef Fredrik Schuto, but it is far from over for him as Klaus is there on the inside line then. Can the McLaren man hold on through turn number 5? He is going to try his best at doing so, but I don't think is it enough. And yes, Alfred Klaus will be through into turn number 3. He will, sorry, P3 through turn 8, I mean. But Schuto is just trying to find the opportunity to get past. He had a look at the Craig Jones. Here goes Parvachki on Schuto now, as he has a look on the inside line. Josef does defend though from Ennis, as he would at least hold on to P4, but there was nothing Josef Fredrik Schuto could do there. He did his best, but ultimately he was just overpowered by the Red Bull of Alfred Klaus. But it has been an absolutely flawless race from this man. The Super Swede is back, ladies and gentlemen. Jesper Johansson will win the Portuguese Grand Prix and take the lead of the championship. Dennis Graf a close second, and Alfred Klaus just gets Josef Fredrik Schuto there at the end. Unfortunately, it is not the dream podium with McLaren that Schuto was hoping for, but either way, a great performance from him. Will Parrish, I have to say, take a bow from P16 on the grid to P9. It is a fantastic performance from the American today, and he should be really, really proud of that one as well. Just waiting for the final two guys across the line. Haas duo of Victor Albom and Daniel Fraser. And that is it. So Jesper Johansson then takes the win here at Portimao. Dennis Graf is second with the fastest lap point as well added to his name. And Alfred Klaus just gets that third place. Josef Fredrik Schuto takes fourth. A bittersweet feeling for him today, as Enes Parashki is fifth with Labas Asnishkai in P6. Fernando Tost seventh with Franco Gamba in eighth. Very well done from him today as well. And Will Parrish from P16 on the grid to P9. He should be proud of himself for that. And it's going to be Wojtek Kulasek in 10th. P11 is Erik Adelberg with Kai Rezhnia in 12th. And then it's Alex Broster in 13th with Tomas Mandic. A very disappointing performance from him today. P14. And Alexander Arnold will be 15th. Luca Farina is 16th, and 17th will go to Daniel Wale, as Daniel Fraser takes 18th with Victor Albom, the final finisher, and the only known finisher in this race, Lewis McIntyre, unfortunately for him. And that is it then for Formula One. Thanks so much for watching. It has been a very, very good race. Once again, driver of the day for me will go to Will Parrish. I think from P16 on the grid to P9. I have to say that's a fantastic drive from the American, and only second race in Formula One. It's a fantastic result for him and AlphaTauri, so he should really be proud of himself for that one, scoring his first points in F1 as well. So yeah, Will Parrish, you are my driver of the day. But that's been it for Formula One. Next round is the Spanish Grand Prix at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Next week, Formula 2 will return as well, but don't go anywhere this week. This Sunday, we will have the opening round of the Super Formula season at Fuji Speedway, so make sure to not miss that. It's going to be the start to another very exciting season of Super Formula. But until then, I have been Miran, and this has been Formula One, and we will see you tomorrow, no, sorry, on Sunday, for Super Formula's opening round at Fuji. Thank you, and goodbye.